It's a classic scene from a 1980s summer movie in an affluent, albeit not opulent, suburb outside the Windy City, where today the median income is a little above $105,000, or just a little above the line to tell others that you make a six-figure salary, but only about twice as much as a starting teacher salary in Arlington, Virginia, a suburb of the nation's capital, and even enough to perhaps sneak in a summer vacation package to Europe, and even drive a sporty luxury SUV or foreign luxury automobile to impress your friends. And at least according to Cameron Fry, the best friend of Ferris Bueller, his dad loved his car more than he loved him. And even in a top suburb like Glencoe, Illinois, where students in public schools score 2 times higher than other public school students across the state in reading and math, like the public schools in Arlington, it is not a golden ticket to the Ivy League in any way, by any stretch of the imagination. Or as one classic line from one popular film from the 1990s had said, not worthy to be a bad man. Today, the Cameron Frys and Ferris Buellers might even have a school psychologist to discuss their problems at government expense, and may even have an after-school program to attend before their parents return home from work or from other community activities. But it is certainly not a substitute for a live-in nanny in the household, like even the Banks family had in Disney's Mary Poppins. And so what happens to the normal rhythm of life for the Ferris Buellers and Cameron Frys when a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic suddenly closes the doors to in-person instruction in school? And who will take care of the children? When you are not quite as fortunate as some who may rely upon a generous trust fund, you may find yourself during an unprecedented pandemic far more concerned about just paying bills and meeting basic subsistence needs, keeping afloat to become too involved in trying to determine the exact science of a pandemic. And with public schools taking care of all of the needs of raising children before a pandemic, a parent might believe that whatever the educators have determined is probably in the best interest for the kids, as they have done before. And so most parents of children in public schools in Arlington probably never dared to question why, with a pandemic, anyone would want not to close schools, and probably never took the time to read just the 40-page report that had been prepared by the WHO that had declared the pandemic regarding the findings of 1,800 teams of at least 5 epidemiologists who had examined 19 times more cases in China than had yet been reported in the entire United States by mid-March 2020, and probably had no idea that while Arlington public schools were beginning to close for 2 years, the public schools in China were already reopening after just a month of disruption. Thanks, Mom, and at least the family didn't lose the BMW. Arlington moms and dads probably had no idea that the WHO had determined that the incidence of COVID-19 among children in China was even far less than would be expected from the flu. And we never closed the schools for the flu, at least for 2 years. Thanks, Mom, and at least the family didn't lose the BMW. Arlington moms and dads probably had no idea that the WHO had determined that COVID-19 infections in China represented only about 2.4% of all of the cases they found, and they could not find even one instance in which it had appeared that a child had infected an adult after examining 55,924 laboratory confirmed cases in China. And you kept your children from seeing their grandma, who may have died during the pandemic. Thanks, Mom. And at least the family didn't lose the BMW. Arlington moms and dads probably had no idea that the CDC had never determined the infectious dose required to cause an infection for COVID-19, which is prerequisite knowledge to ascertain proper correlates of protection to enable the development of effective vaccines without resorting to large sample size phase 3 clinical trials, and probably never read the Joseph Freeman report that had indicated that there was a combined risk of 16% associated with the mRNA vaccines produced by Pfizer Pfizer and Moderna, as high as 36% for the Pfizer product alone, the most popular brand. So thanks, Mom, and at least the family didn't lose the BMW. This message was approved by Major Mike Webb. Honest.